Good morning and welcome to another episode of Country Boy Outdoors. Found this place with some tracks, not a lot. They're not super fresh, but they're fresh enough that I'm going to make a set on them. And what I've done is found a couple of shotgun shells that were laying beside of the road. I picked them up and I'm going to set those as a flat set. You always want to make something prominent that a coyote would see, and I think this red shotgun shell will do the trick. So we'll see. Just get to making the set here. I made it a little bit off the road too. You see car tracks, tire tracks coming through here. And I will probably set it up on a drag so that if I make a catch, he gets out of the way and people passing by aren't going to see him as quick. All right, first thing I want to talk about is gloves or no gloves. I wear gloves. It's the way I was taught, so I just stay with it. Are they necessary? Probably not. There are people that set with their bare hands and they catch more than I do. So you make your choice. I just happen to do it because I was taught that way. And my philosophy is I'm trying to put that animal's paw in a 2x2, or 1x1 actually, square on the pan. I've got 800 acres I'm trapping on, 800 plus acres. And I'm still trying to put that paw right there. I don't want to spread scent everywhere. I want it where I want it. Okay, that's my philosophy on that. Make your own choice. Like I said, there's people that use bare hands and they catch more than I do, so who knows? All right. Next thing I want to talk about, setup. What I do is I place everything in the same spot every time. I got my sifter over here to the left. I got my trap just to the right, and I got my bucket of tools and lures and everything else just beyond that. Everything's within reach. The reason I do that, well, you can call me OCD if you want, but I waste very little motion when I'm making a set. I know where everything is, okay? So I start with a trap. This one's on a drag. Drags are real simple. Take it, toss it out there, and set your trap where you're going to set your trap. What I do first is I set the trap and I place it about where it's going to go. Actually, I'm going to turn that around so the chain rests better under it. All right, now I know about where that's going to go, and I know the size of the hole that I need to dig. All right, set that aside, grab my hammer. Real soft dirt here. One of the beauties of a drag is I don't have to dig that real deep. I don't have to drive an anchor. And if you're in hard ground, that really means something. For me, I'm 65 years old and this old body is getting a little worn out. So it means something to me too. I don't have to drive an anchor. I don't want to drive it. All right. Dig a little trench for the chain. Cover it up. You only need to cover up a foot or so, maybe 2 feet. My philosophy on that is if they're more interested in a chain than they are what you got for lure and bait, you need to do something a little different. All right. The most important part of making a set for a coyote or any canine or cat is bedding the trap. I want to make that so that It does not move no matter what. It doesn't move a little bit even. And a trick that I use, because I use trapper's cap. Find the right one. I got one for MB 550s and I got one for MB 450s. This is a 450. And by the way, don't let anybody tell you that a coyote, you can't hold a coyote with a MB 450 or 1.5. They will hold them. All right, I put the trapper's cap on and I tap that on each corner. And I tap it fairly hard, not super. I can see a little bit of motion right at the end of that stem. I'm not bedded right. It's not much, but it doesn't take much, and your coyote will be MIA. Tap it on the levers. All right, I'm solid. There's no way he's going to feel that if he doesn't step on the pan. And that's what I want. Take my dirt and sift it over the top. The reason I sift it is to make sure there's no rocks or sticks or anything that's going to get between the jaws. Again, if that happens, coyote's going to be MIA. It's simple to avoid it. I'm going to put some more over it. And what I'm doing here is I'm just making sure there's enough over the jaws so that he's not going to feel the jaws if he steps on them. Uncover that a little bit. All right, I'm just going to lightly fill that in a little bit. And go get some more dirt. All right, you can't tell where that is now. And he can't either. And what I'm going to do to make him step where I want him to step is try to find a clump. And I'm going to put it right in front of that pan. Right about there. It didn't stay a clump, that's the problem. But he won't step on that. All right. Everything goes back in the bucket when you're done with it, so you don't forget anything. You don't want to lose equipment. All right, what I'm trying to do now is find something that I can place strategically, but it looks natural. I'm going to try to guide him in the way I want him to go, which is over the pan. Move that over there. Make a natural block right there. Notice that I got the pan, which is right there, offset from the lure, because the lure is going right inside that shotgun shell. There's two schools of thought on that as well. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I put them right direct in. I've never seen a coyote go directly into a set. Not straight in. They'll come from the side usually. That's what I have these blocks for. But some people want them offset, some people don't. I really don't think it makes a whole lot of difference. So, all right, what I'm going to do is get some lure. In this one, I think I'm going to try some Violator 7. And then soak it with some coyote urine. Get some Violator 7. Something I wanted to show you. I have seen on YouTube, I watch YouTube a lot. I don't propose to know all the answers. And if I knew all the answers, they'd just change all the questions. So why bother? I've seen trappers on YouTube making videos. Very good videos, except they do one thing wrong. They hold the bottle over the trap bed as they unscrew the cap. Under that cap is crusted lure. Dried out crusted lure. As you unscrew it, a little bit of that falls on the ground. Well, if that's over the trap bed, you've just got it on your trap. You don't want it on your trap. You want his nose up at the lure and his foot on the trap. So remember that when you're unscrewing the lid and putting it back on, do it away from the trap bed. All I'm doing is taking that stick, putting it right down inside of that shotgun shell. All right. Same thing when you're putting the lid back on. Move it away from the trap bed. I'm going to take a shot of coyote urine and just soak those right there. That set will catch. By the way, I wanted to also say, there's no way that you're going to be here, make this set, and a coyote not know that you're here, or you've been here. Another thing I wanted to show you, when you're using drags, if you can, pre-hook them. And I'll show you what I mean. I hope you don't have motion sickness. Alright, to pre-hook a saber-tooth drag, all I do, I like to find a clump of bushes or something where you know there's some roots to hook into, but there's none here, so I can't do that. But all I'm going to do is take that tooth and sink it into the dirt, make it fairly solid, so that when he gets caught, he will go back the other way and it will fetch up. And what he'll do then is he'll turn around and come right back into here, into the woods, which is where I want him. So you guys that don't like to use drags because you don't want to have to look for your catch, and some of you are legit, you don't have time to do that. But there are things you can do to direct him to go where you want him to go. So you don't have to look around as long. So that's it. I'll let you know if we have a catch on this one. And Country Boy out.